and we need to get closure.
It's been a trying week for family and friends of a murdered Northern Kentucky couple. Family asks the public not stop searching.
Thousands across the nation are protesting recent police shootings in Minnesota and Louisiana. This comes as people mourn the loss of 5 Dallas officers killed at a rally. Police in Lexington are still searching for the men involved in a hit and run and burglary.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Thanks for staying up with WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. We are getting a bit of a break from the heat and humidity this weekend. Tomorrow looks to be just as nice. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has the no-wait weather forecast.
Yeah, pretty nice looking day again tomorrow, with highs probably hovering in the mid-80s. Humidity levels down to a comfortable level. Tonight, things are pretty nice out there. You can see all the way back toward the downtown area, and everything is nice and quiet for you. Temperatures running in the 70s. And you've got some 60s, so we're low to mid 70s, and a few upper 60s are now starting to get peppered into the overall temperature profile here tonight. Like Frankfort, 69 degrees, 70 in Mount Sterling, and of course 71 here in Lexington. We're talking about the current temperature here. Feels like it's the exact same thing. Of course, winds coming in out of the southwest at around 3 miles per hour. Let's take a closer look at tomorrow for you. In the morning, around 67 at 8 o'clock. By noontime, we're in the upper 70s. How about some mid-80s for daytime highs? That's where we're likely going to go, with a mix of sun and clouds, and then we'll cool things off. Very similar to what we did out there this evening. So another good-looking day. But they don't last. We do have more rain chances coming, and I'll break them down in the 7-day forecast here in just a few minutes.
A Kentucky mother is begging for help. State police say a man killed her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend. Yesterday, police charged Craig Pennington with 2 counts of murder. They say Pennington killed Robert Jones and Crystal Warner. Police last saw the couple leaving their rental property in Washington County about a week ago. Investigators in Georgetown found their car abandoned. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner talked with Warner's mother. She has our top story at 11.
They said that they wanted to talk to me and that they were in their vehicle, the trooper car.
Family and friends determined to find Robert Jones and Crystal Warner joined for a search Friday, but it came to a halt when Mary Reeve was told news a mom never wants to hear about her child.
They started telling us, and they said that they were investigating a murder charge, and right then I knew.
She knew it was the outcome they'd been praying wouldn't come true.
I never thought in a million years, my beautiful, sweet daughter, that anything would ever happen to her like this. She's just kind to everybody and good-hearted. And
the murders took Jones from his 3 children.
I really feel for those children because they need their daddy too.
She says it's still hard to find the words. Family is asking the public not stop searching for the couple.
I want them to continue. I would ask the people in Washington County and the surrounding areas, and also up to where the car is, search their properties.
Reeve says she won't find closure until the bodies are found.
And I hope and pray that if anybody knows what they did with the bodies, to come forward, because we need to know and we need to get closure. And we want to give them a proper burial.
In Russell County, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
State police say they are still trying to pinpoint an area of concentration for their search. There have been protests across the U.S. this week, and all in the wake of 2 deadly shootings of black men by white officers. A man who told police he was angry about the shootings killed 5 Dallas officers Thursday. Wendy Gillette reports.
Across the nation, protesters vented their anger. In Pittsburgh, a demonstration stopped traffic.
We are people too. We want to be treated like everybody else is treated.
The nationwide protests began following the police shootings of 2 black men. Alton Sterling was killed Tuesday in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A day later, Philando Castile was shot to death during a traffic stop in a Minneapolis suburb.
I just want to say enough is enough. I'm tired of turning on the news and the police killing our young black man.
In Chicago, a group vowed to shut down the Taste of Chicago Food Festival. They marched at the event with their hands held high.
This is what democracy looks like.
In Atlanta, demonstrators walked in silence. A gathering in Augusta, Georgia was a bit more raucous.
The protests come as police departments across the country increase security in the wake of the attack on officers in Dallas. Departments in both large and small cities say they've seen an increase in threats against police by phone and online.
In Fresno, California, the police department has received about 30 threatening calls
from individuals that were making threats, hateful remarks towards law enforcement. And it's not just uncommon, it's unheard of.
Officers there are working in pairs and staffing has been increased. Threats against police have led to arrests in Chicago, Wisconsin, and Louisiana. Wendy Gillette for CBS News, New York.
Dozens were in Triangle Park tonight protesting the recent shootings across the country. More than 50 people gathered to talk about those shootings. Organizers encouraged people to get up and speak to the crowd.
This event kind of allowed all of us to come together and just know that there is an issue and acknowledge it. Because if America's not going to acknowledge it on a wide scale, we need to do it here in our communities.
A University of Kentucky student organized the vigil. Many here in Lexington are reacting to what's happened across the nation. About 150 people walked in a freedom march in downtown Lexington today. They called for unity and talked about the shootings in Louisiana, Minnesota, and Dallas. Nearby on UK's campus, about 40 people participated in a healing circle. The event gave students a place to grieve in a safe, protective space.
All lives matter, but it's black lives that are being slaughtered and that are being carelessly killed at hand. And you know, we got police brutality. We got all this nonsense going on, and there's no need for it. It's 2016. It's time for us to band up, stand up, and be together as one race.
My main point as a healer is that we don't have to suffer in pain alone, and that we can heal and be stronger and figure out how to even resist in the future if we can learn how to collectively heal together.
Our news partners at the Herald Leader report organizers of today's Freedom March asked police to put down their weapons for 24 hours. Lexington Police Chief Mark Barnard told the Herald Leader the idea is a pretty irresponsible proposal. The dangers law enforcement face are all too familiar for the families of officers in Richmond. Less than a year ago, Richmond police officer Daniel Ellis died while working. After his death, many women decided to form a group called the Police Wives of Madison County. They say having a husband in law enforcement can be stressful and that their hearts go out to those in Dallas.
My husband and I have this routine every night when he leaves for work. I'll say, "You be safe," and he says, "Will do." And then we tell each other we love each other, and you don't know if it's the last time, but again, you just have to trust that it's in God's hands.
The group is collecting donations to send to the families of the Dallas shooting victims. They're asking for restaurant gift cards and for letters. You can drop off donations at the Richmond Police Department or the Berea Police Department. And a group of women in Hindman are also raising money for the families of the Dallas shooting victims. Volunteers held signs at a roadblock this morning. Drivers passing through stopped to give donations. Megan Cottle hopes to raise more than $1,000 for families. She says events like this show law enforcement all over the world that people support them. A Lexington woman is recovering tonight after a run-in with a robber. Brian Spangler says he and his wife woke up early this morning to two men breaking into their house on Sandersville Road. He says someone threw a brick through the back door and stole their laptop and purse. They saw their car pulling out of the driveway. Spangler ran out of the home and says he forced one robber to the ground with a shotgun.
Comes through the yard with a vehicle and hits my wife. And she hits her so hard she hits her head on the truck parked in the driveway, and the other guy, they hit me on the side. I drop my gun. The guy jumps in the car with the other guy, and they take off.
Police spotted the car and chased it to Winburn Drive. They say the men inside abandoned it and took off running. Lexington police have been searching for them on Winburn Drive. Breast cancer survivors packed Whitaker Bank Ballpark tonight for the Lexington Legends annual Pink Out at the park. More than 100 people released pink balloons before the game to honor survivors and those who have passed. Legends players wore special jerseys. Organizers auctioned off those jerseys during the game. Proceeds will benefit Susan G. Komen Lexington, UK Markey Cancer Center, and Kentucky Cancer Link. Still to come on WKYT. people in Pineville are picking up what storms left behind.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Upper 60s, low 70s, mid 70s showing up out there for you on this Saturday night, and we'll likely run into more of this as we get into the next few nights as well. We look at our temperatures. You can see all of them right now and where they currently are on the thermometer with those low and mid 70s. As far as Defender has been concerned through the day today, quiet all across the entire area. What we are tracking, though, is just a little bit of cloud cover tonight. So you might look up and see the stars with a little bit of haze. That's really the high, thin clouds that we're tracking in most locations. It would be the gray that you're seeing here on our map. We'll expand our view. Here's one of the reasons why. We've got an old frontal boundary just draped over the area. It's not one of those great fronts that comes in and just cleans the atmosphere up and really pushes all of the humid air out and makes it feel wonderful for a few days. It's not that type of front, and it's really not going that far either. It might sink toward the south, but this warm front extension of it will eventually work its way back across Kentucky, bringing more humidity. Heat will also be back in town as well, and that means we open up chances for more showers and thunderstorms across Kentucky. So it's going to get a little more active around here. This is the way the hour by hour looks. I take you a little into the future. You see things are quiet tonight. Showers and storms are trying to come together along the boundary, but it's still pretty well stationary. Even by this time tomorrow night, very little change in location. We go into Sunday night and into your Monday as well, and still very little change. But you notice that the warm front extension of this starts to work its way back toward the north. Now, as we get into Monday, notice what happens here. Some showers are showing up across Tennessee and Virginia. Maybe one or two of those. We'll try to cruise over into southern parts of Kentucky. But overall, I think we're dry again on Monday. We don't open our chances of showers and storms up again until we actually get into your Monday. Now, one thing that we'll all start noticing are dry days being numbered. And what I mean by dry, I'm talking about the feel to the air. You can watch the core of the humidity start building in out to our west. That's it, where you see those darker shades of green. So humidity will return, and it is going to hang out with a 7-day forecast as we look ahead. 85 tomorrow, a little warmer on Monday, and that's because that front makes a passage over. And then we're right back into the thick of summer. Summer showers and thunderstorms with some summer heat thrown in there too, Kristen.
So enjoy the next 2 days.
Do what you can, that's right.
Thank you, Jim. Powerful storms that rolled through southeastern Kentucky last night left behind a mess. Leaders of Pine Mountain State Resort Park in Pineville had to temporarily shut down the park due to damage. Electrical crews are trying to restore power there. Several trees fell on power lines. NASCAR was in Kentucky tonight. WKYT has the latest from the Quaker State 400 next on Game Time.
Coming up on this supercharged edition of WKYT Game Time. Got a need for speed? We'll give it to you. The Quaker State 400 at Kentucky Speedway. Devin Booker and Tyler Eulis were together again, out racing the Blazers in the NBA Summer League. And Tyson Gay had one final shot at making the U.S. Olympic team. We'll tell you whether or not he made it. Break out the fancy dinner plates. WKYT Game Time is next. And good evening, everyone. For a 6th straight year, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series was racing in Kentucky. A newly paved track was the main storyline going into this year's Quaker State 400. But what effect would it have on the driving? We go racing in Sparta, and the drivers would find the track challenging from the get-go. Lap 32, Jimmy Johnson gets loose, then gets into the wall coming around the turn. He would head to the garage. Another caution and coming out on lap 93 on the backstretch. Brian Scott gets sideways on turn 2. He makes contact with Chris Buescher. A.J. Allmendinger also involved. Damage there to the front of Buescher's car. Lap 172, Allmendinger involved in another wreck coming back onto the track, and this time he is not a happy camper. 7 laps to go. Matt Kenseth passes Brad Keselowski for the lead, but Kenseth would have to stop for fuel. Keselowski, also running low on fuel, elects to stay on the track, gambling on the fuel tank. And on the final lap, Keselowski able to hold off Carl Edwards and take the checkered flag at Kentucky Speedway. his third win in 6 cup races at Sparta. He didn't even have enough to burn out. He had to be hauled back to the garage. There.
We went out and we set a really fast pace there on that restart, and we're just, using fuel. And then it became obvious that you're going to have to save fuel at the end. But I've already used so much, so get the Miller Lite forward in victory lane for number 4 this year. Gosh, that's great. Usually these repaves are kind of my Achilles heel, but to get a win here at Kentucky, I know it's been a good track for us in the past, but this ain't the same Kentucky, I can tell you that.
Congratulations to him. Kentucky has a rich tradition in basketball, and tonight the 17 newest members of the Kentucky High School Basketball Hall of Fame were inducted. A ceremony was held tonight in Elizabethtown, the class part of the initial 100 members to coincide with the 100th year of high school basketball in Kentucky.
I feel good, and I'm still enjoying coaching, and I wouldn't know how not to do this at this point. I've been doing it so long, but this is a milestone that you never dream about, and it's something that when it happens to you, it really stops you in your tracks and makes you think about your whole career, but it makes you want to go on to and keep on doing what you've been doing.
As you wind down toward the end of your career, to be able to recognize for your achievement, it's an honor, especially in coaching, whether in any business you're in, to be recognized for it by your peers, your fellow coaches. It's very humbling and very honorable.
Here is a look at the entire 2016 class. Donis Butcher was a great scoring guard at Meade Memorial High School. He later played with the Knicks and coached the Pistons. Pearl Combs won 760 games at Heinemann Settlement School. He won a state title in 1943. Stan Harden led the Fairdale High School to back-to-back state titles in 1990 and 91. Jeff Lamp led Ballard to the 1977 state title and took home Mr. Basketball honors that season. Donna Moyer won more than 550 games at Sacred Heart. She won 3 straight state championships beginning in 2002. Randy Napier coached at MC Napier and is now at Perry County Central. He's the winningest girls coach in Kentucky history. Gene Rhodes was a standout at Male High School in the 40s. He later coached at Male and St. X. Ralph Richardson was a high school All-American at Russell County in the 1950s. He was Mr. Basketball in 1958. Jim Rose out of Hazard. He was a Parade All-American in 1967, a 3-time All-State selection. Dwight Smith was an All-Stater in 1962 and 63 for Princeton Dodson High School. Tom Thacker averaged more than 30 points his junior and senior seasons at William Grant High School. Harry Todd was a 6'8" post player at Erling High. He was Mr. Basketball in 1958. Bobby Turner was a 3-time All-Stater at Male, which won a state title in 1975. George Wilson played at the old Dunbar High School. He was runner-up to Wes Unseld in 1964 for Mr. Basketball. Carly Ormerod led Sacred Heart High School to 3 straight state titles and then played at UK. Scott County's Billy Hicks, the state's winningest coach with more than 900 wins, and former Mason County and UK star Darius Miller, who led the Royals to the 2008 state title. He was named Mr. Basketball that year as well. Congratulations to all 17 newest members into the Hall of Fame. Coming up, it was the NBA Summer League debut of Tyler Ulis today, but it was his college buddy Devin Booker stealing the show. That's next on Game Time. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $15 million. Tyler Ulis proved that he was one of the best point guards in college basketball last season, despite standing just 5 feet 9 inches tall. But many questioned, how would that translate to the next level? Well, today, Ulis getting his first chance to prove himself in the Suns' NBA Summer League debut facing the Trailblazers. Blazers had the ball in the first until Ulis steals it away. He gets it up ahead to Devin Booker for the easy slam. The old Ulis to Booker Kentucky connection in full effect. Then it's Booker passing it over to Ulis for the jumper. Good pro debut for Ulis. Finished with 11 points, 7 assists. But the player of the game was Booker, knocking down the corner three-pointer here. Booker had 18 points in the third quarter alone. He finished with a game-high 28 and 8 rebounds. The Suns win 86-73.
Things got a little chippy out there, and that's what you expect in Summer League. A lot of people trying to earn their spots. So, when that happened, my young fellas got involved, and I just wanted to try to take over, and that's what I did. End of the day, I'm trying to get wins. So, we came out with the win, so I'm happy with that.
Devin Booker watching former teammate Trey Lyles in the Jazz tipping off in Vegas Summer League against the Wizards. Lyles getting heated up early. The corner three ball is good. Lyles playing some point forward tonight for the Jazz. Bringing the ball up here, the handoff, the three, the splash. Still in the first half, Lyles from just inside the arc. How about another big night for the former Wildcat? Like Booker, Lyles scores 28 points, but the Jazz lose to the Wizards 88-73. A chance to see Jamal Murray versus Andrew Harrison today. Nuggets facing the Grizzlies. Murray getting the start at point guard, dribbles into the lane and the feed to Peter Corneli for the dunk. 1 of 4 assists for Murray. On the other end, Andrew Harrison driving to the bucket. He lays it in and is fouled. 6 points for Andrew tonight. More from Murray. Off the rebound, Jamal's going to take it the distance. Through the defense, lays it in with the left hand. Murray finished with 6 points, and the Nuggets win big, 106-62. Lexington native Tyson Gay narrowly missed on an opportunity at a trip to Rio in the 100 meters last week at the U.S. Track and Field Olympic Trials in Eugene, Oregon. Tonight, one final shot for the Lexington native and 33-year-old in the 200-meter final. Gay near the top of the screen in lane 2 there as they come around the final turn and sprint for home. Gay not able to keep pace with the front of the pack. Justin Gatlin wins in lane 8. LaShawn Merritt and Amir Webb finish second and third. Those three will make up the U.S. team at the Olympics.
Windup.
Reds at the Fish. Second inning. Adam Duvall is becoming quite the slugger. The former Butler High School product rips a liner over the wall and left, his 23rd of the year. Game tied at 1. In the 4th, Brandon Phillips off the first. That falls in for a hit. Jay Bruce comes around. It's 2-1 Redlegs. Now, Martin Prado might want to add Jay Bruce to his Christmas list because in the 5th, Prado hits a fly ball to right, and Bruce just completely loses it. Misplayed by Bruce. 2 runs coming to score, and the Marlins catch a 4-2 win over the Reds. Serena Williams added to her trophy case today. That's next on Game Time. A few years from now, we may look back and truly appreciate what Serena Williams means to the women's tennis. The most dominant player in the sport added to her storied career today. Serena Williams capturing her 7th Wimbledon singles title with a 7-5, 6-3 win over Angelique Kerber. That gives Williams 22 Grand Slam singles titles, tying Steffi Graf for the Open-era record. Williams had 13 aces, won 38 of the 43 points on her first serve, and was not broken in the match. She is truly the best. And Serena and her sister Venus, they also claimed the Wimbledon doubles title tonight. And that does it for this edition of Game Time. Good night, Kentucky.